Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Paper Guy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And Mr. Magazine was actually given a task to come up with a topic for today. And he came through with flying colors. He came over, he said, I'm not really sure how to work this into a show. And he started telling me a story. And I said, whoa. Stop right there. Stop the presses. I said, don't tell me anymore because I think that this will do really, really well on the show. And kind of a little look behind the curtain here. That's how we run our show. Is we don't set things up. We don't talk about a lot in advance because we want real reactions type deal. And there are shows out there that will tell you, the GDP of Amazon versus, and then the other one will chime in right away with, it went up 17.2% over Moldavia's GDP last year.
Wow.
Those are great shows for information. They're not great shows for entertainment purposes. And we're trying to entertain you as well as teach you. So why don't you go into the story real quick, Mr. Magazine?
So I was picking up a collection. A local gentleman went to his house, and everything looked good. We struck a deal. So yesterday I went to pick it up, and I knew it was a lot of stuff, but I wasn't sure if I could fit it into my SUV or not. I did take an employee with me, and we ended up getting about 60% of it in the truck.
Okay.
He did most of the grunt work. I did the organizing, the boxing, and so forth, and he brought everything through the basement, up the stairs, and into the truck. So day one, no problem. I couldn't go back till today, where he could not work. He had another previous job he was doing. He was going to come in the afternoon. So I said, you know what? I got two collections to pick up. I'm just going to go to the one first, and then pick up the rest of those after that by myself. Like I'm some superhero. Well, I get there, and I don't know if you've seen sports card boxes. I'm sure you get a bunch of them, but there's shoe boxes, triple shoe boxes, monster boxes, and super monster boxes.
Okay, all different sizes.
And he had at least 100 of them there, and they were chock full, and you're got to be 30, 40 pounds each because they're chock full, and 100 of them. So I'm thinking, I want to get out of here quickly. The other deal,
God, you're not, Billy, don't be a hero.
I don't want to be a hero. There was some.
Don't be a fool with your life.
So then I'm thinking, let me do the cases first. There were some unopened cases, and those got to weigh a couple 100 pounds, and I'm like, let me get the hard stuff out of the way, and then I'll, tackle the smaller boxes.
Okay.
Well, there's really no smaller boxes, but I got those two big ones out of the way, and I was already winded. Going up the stairs, it was cold out. I'm getting older. My legs are getting, sore. My knees hurting. I want to take a breather already, which, I've always been in okay shape for my size, but, I just felt being old today, for the first time, I shouldn't be doing this, I don't know if I was just trying to be cheap and not pull one of my employees off to help out because they would have. I just thought I could do it. And,
I'm going to interrupt here for a second, and this is a very important lesson. Random neighborhood kid.
Yep.
And he got his job, as you know. He's an electrician.
Sure.
And here's the advice that I gave him, and I'm going to give you the same advice, and everybody out there the same advice. I said, random neighborhood kid, don't be a hero. He's 18 years old. I said, you can take 2 boxes at a time.
Yeah.
You can be the tough guy.
Right.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Look at what the 30, 35, 40-year-old guys do it, because when you get to be 35 or 40, that's how you're going to be doing it.
Yeah.
Why kill yourself now being a hero when you're 40 you're going to be doing it the smart way?
Sure.
Do it the smart way.
Yeah.
Not that you're not doing it the smart way,
yeah.
because a 100-pound box has to get up the stairs.
Right.
There's no other way you're not going to rig up a pulley system.
No, right. So then I'm trying to think of a system where, okay, if I take a heavy one, then a light load, I can take a breather for the second load, and that was kind of working, but then, then you get to the point where everything's just heavy. So I'm like, well, instead of bringing 4 super monster boxes up, let me take a 5-row, a 4-row, and a 3-row to make it lighter. Then I'm starting to play Jenga and equal out these piles of I want to take 4 boxes at a time, because then if there's 100, that's 25 trips.
You got your trips counted down.
25 trips. 2 minutes a trip, an hour. Ended up being probably about an hour and 15 minutes. But as I got halfway through, my legs were sore. Then I'm looking for a reason to go on my phone and take a break. And okay, any emails, any texts, And then the gentleman was talking to me.
A recipe for potato pancakes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think there's 2 or 3 trips left, and the gentleman was starting to talk to me. I'm thankful, because I'm I need to take a break.
It forces you to take a break.
Yeah, I didn't want to take a break. I wanted to get it over with, even though I was slowing down. I was taking less boxes towards the end, but I did not. I'm the owner of the company. I did not need to put myself in that position. I could have had help, and I was just too stubborn. I'm getting older. I got to get in shape. I got to.
Now, let me ask you a question, though.
Mm-hmm.
If you brought an employee there,
mm-hmm.
how hard do you work that employee?
I wouldn't stand there and let him do all the work.
Well, not even that, but even if you did, even for some reason you blew your knee
I
out.
would tell him not to go. Don't pay here. I would say here, take 2 or 3 boxes, or take like I would do don't overdo it. If it's too much, take one less box next time, or take a break, drink some water, something like that. I certainly don't want to wear them out because one, we need them for the rest of the day, but we also need them for tomorrow and the next day. So you definitely don't want to burn them out. But I'm just looking at myself. First time I really felt old doing a job like that. And I've picked up many collections. And
so, are you saying that next time I get a call to a flop house on Lyle Avenue, you don't want to go and help me carry CDs?
Maybe CDs, but definitely not monster boxes. Yeah.
Well, and it's funny that you mentioned that because I had a deal many years ago, and it was a very, very odd deal, and I still don't know what exactly happened. But my understanding was the gentleman who owned the house sold his collection to a guy I'll call Bob. And Bob bought everything in the house and then sold all of the paper stuff, books, magazines, whatever, to a mutual friend of ours that I'll call Dan.
Okay.
And then Dan took what he wanted and sold the rest of the paper stuff to me. Well, apparently the gentleman that had sold the stuff wasn't overly happy with the deal at some point, whether he didn't feel he got enough money, whether he was kind of forced into selling it because something was going on with the house.
Yeah.
Whatever the situation was, I started getting the vibe from Bob, the first guy who had bought the whole thing, because he was there when I was there, and he was saying, oh, you got to be careful, you got to be, whatever. And meanwhile, I'm like, well, wait a minute. I made the deal to buy all of the paper in the house.
Right.
And now I'm being told, well, maybe not that closet. Maybe, well, wait, hold on a minute. I'm buying all the leftovers.
Yeah, right.
And then the gentleman who owned the house went away for a doctor's appointment or something other like that.
Yeah.
And he was just an odd bird, to say the least. And I didn't really like being around him. And again, I had made a deal.
Yeah,
I had made a deal with somebody who had made a deal. Everything was kosher. I almost passed out because it was a hot day. I didn't drink any water, and I owned a van at the time. That van was completely packed to the gills. I don't think I could get one more book in that thing. But I'm almost running up and down the stairs, filling up stuff to get it out because I want to get out of this house.
You want to be out of there before he gets back.
Before he gets back, because I don't want him all of a sudden saying, "What are you doing with that book? You're not supposed to have that book." When no, I made a deal for everything. I was told by the guy who made the original deal that everything was included. The guy that I bought from, everything was included. Everything's included.
Yeah.
And I don't want this guy, what's in that box? What's in that box? I just want to get out.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm going to be leaving some stuff because it was more than one trip with the stuff. And I just said, no, I don't care.
Right.
I'm not taking everything. But that was one time, I literally, going up the stairs, almost passed out. I had to, grab onto the railing and, whoa.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm at the guy's house. Where am I going to get water? I guess I could have gone to the sink and done the old drink out of your hands thing. So I'm not going to take anything out of his drawers or out of his.
But like I said, I'm overweight. I'm almost 50, and I'm feeling I could have a heart attack. I'm not thinking like that ahead of time. But in the future, you really got to have a mindset. Get in shape, or don't do this type of work. Have someone else do it for me.
And as much as this pains both of us, because time is money. Slow down and understand that something, I want to get this all done, but it's never going to get loaded if I'm passed out in the middle of a snowbank.
Well, and it was one of those deals where I had to take all of it, which I got a great deal. I got it for pennies on the dollar, but I had to take it all, and what I was left over was the stuff that I really didn't want. I took the good stuff the first time, which is my mindset, and I'm like, oh, I'm taking this crap, what am I doing here? But then
so you're almost dying for stuff you don't even really want.
Yeah, right, exactly, if I would have left half of the stuff from trip 2 and just said if you could throw it out, but that wasn't part of the deal. So.
Yep. So I guess the point is out there, be careful, especially as you get older. I know we did the one video the one day about age-proofing your business. Well, this is another part of it for sure. I find myself at flea markets all the time, and I'm still young enough, or I feel that I'm young enough, that I sit there and I carry sometimes way more than I should, a lot further than I should. Right. And then the other problem with paper is it gets wet. So I've had it before where you're carrying these really heavy boxes in the rain, doubled over with it, holding it like this with your body over the box, and try to keep as much of the rain out as you possibly can. And then you're almost running, and of course the ground is getting slippery as you're running. We've all been there, but do what you can to slow down. Don't be a hero when you get down to it, because again, it's only a business. It's not worth your life. It's not worth time in the hospital. God forbid if you'd had something rather than you were on those stairs.
Yeah, right.
You fall back down the stairs, something rather like that. You break your neck. Who knows what could possibly happen?
Late knee gives out, and who knows? Yeah.
Anything like that. You could have bet the corner of that 1988 Louis Leal card.
That would suck.
That would really stink.
And I couldn't floss my teeth.
In a grade of 10, it's like almost the grading costs.
Yeah.
All right. Do hit the like button if you could, and tell us about some of the worst experiences that you've had out there. Again, those are, he had a bad experience there. I had a bad experience there. And I think we did show the one haul video with the bad experience being out at the Geneva deal, loading all of the Avon bottles.
Yeah.
That was a nightmare. I mean, you got a lot of stuff for it, but that was an absolute nightmare for that one as well.
That was a brutal one. That was like a 1-week endeavor, I think.
Yes, it was.
Jeez.
So we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.